Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, the Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store.
Good evening, Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League fans, and welcome into another edition of mmjhl Game Day here live on G-Show Productions on gshow.ca, on your home for mmjhl hockey here in Manitoba. I'm your play-by-play commentator and host for the pregame and postgame show, as always here tonight, Graham the G-Show Forsyth. Our mmjhl Game Day sponsors are Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Terrico Goaltenders, and Make Hand Fasteners and Tools. Thank you to them for continuing to support the coverage of this league here on the network. Let's get into some past results, the standings to start things off. 3 teams have clinched playoff spots. We're going to get a look at one of them tonight, the number 1 seed right now in the mmjhl, in the Transcona Railer Express. They clinched along with the Charleswood Hawks and Fort Garry Twins last weekend. St. Vital coming into this one hoping to get closer to that mark with 38 points, a 17-10-4 record. And last time we saw St. Vital out here on the network was actually this past Sunday, where they were down 3-0 but came all the way back to beat the Raiders Junior Hockey Club 7-5. Last Thursday, St. Vital ended up starting off with a big 7-1 victory here at the Centennial against the River East Royal Knights, while the Transcona Railer Express took down the Stonewall Jets in the game that actually had them clinch the playoffs on mmjhl Game Day, nonetheless, as we broadcasted that one live. But as for what's to come this weekend, the game tonight, only 3 games going to be played tomorrow. All teams back in action in the league on Sunday, and then there's going to be a lone Wednesday game in Morris at the Multiplex coming up between the Riels and the Pembina Valley Twisters. But as for these 2 teams here tonight heading into action, the visitors in the Railer Express, their outlook, the first team to clinch, now one of 3 teams to do so. They've been a model of consistency for most of this season, except the starts to both of their years, 2024 and the start to 2025. Ended up having them start off 0-2. It was a great bounce back last weekend for the Railers. They had to work every bit in that win against the Stonewall Jets, and of course, winning big on Sunday as well. And it's been about finishing strong for this team as of late and as the season goes along. That has made this team such a tough team to win against on a consistent night in and night out basis. As for the St. Vital Junior Victorias, it was a real character win on Sunday. Felt like they should have started faster in that one, which they didn't. They get behind the 8 ball. A bit undisciplined with the penalties, but none of that mattered as they score 5 unanswered and end up winning 7-5 against the Raiders. The key here tonight, survive the Railers' attack. They're going to be coming at you. Win those races to the pucks. Do as much as you can in the defensive zone to succeed, and getting the lead first is going to be huge in this one. When the Railers have lost, they usually go down on the scoreboard first. So can St. Vital get them behind the 8 ball here tonight? Well, we're going to find out in the next few minutes here as they're making their way out onto the ice. The Railers are already at the away bench in their reds here tonight as the road team. This has been your mmjhl Game Day pregame show here on G-Show Productions on gshow.ca. Enjoy the game, everybody. Puck drop and national anthems coming up next. And welcome into mmjhl game day, mmjhl fans. It's the Railer Express going up against the St. Vital Junior Victorias. Both teams riding a 2-game win streak here. Transcona clinching the playoff spot, as mentioned in the pregame show last week, exactly a week ago, with a win in Stonewall against the Jets. The Vics looking to get closer to that mark. The last time these two teams met was back at East End on December 8th, where Transcona ended up winning 3-2. Fourth matchup out of 5 so far this season here between the two teams tonight. And a quick whistle to start things off as the puck has been dropped in this matchup, brought to you by McKen Fasteners and Tools, Terrico Goaltenders, and our first period sponsor in Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. Be sure to check out their store, their only location here in the city, at 995 Miltz-Seagull Drive, as well as checking out their website at cancentralsportscards.com. Trey Sullen being checked there by Luke Elliott, flipped in by number 4 for this Railer Express team onto Jaquette's stick, who plays this quickly up to Elliott with a backhand. Elliott knocked off the puck, however. Baron Baker in for support, held in at the line by the Railer Express, and they send it in deep again. Jaquette, first one on again. Being pressured there on the forecheck by Pruden, held in by number 5 in Jace Larkins, but turned it over to Jaquette, who kicks this to the outside to Dario Macchia. Cuts to the inside, kicks it out to Luke Elliott, who, out of his reach, just tries to send it down low deep, but could not. Whacked in by Pruden onto the crease, or into the stick of Penner, as we get a stoppage here. 19:02 left in the first period at this point. Starting goaltenders tonight, brought to you by Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. Ethan Penner getting the start for the Victorias. Logan Maroney in net tonight for the Transcona Railer Express. As that puck sent out of play. So we got a face-off coming up on the right side to the glove hand side of Maroney in the Railer Express zone. Rylan Netraduk with the reverse grip here on the face-off draw against Nolan Vandenbush. Doesn't work out for number 11 as Vandenbush able to win it. Railer Express trying to chip and go off the boards, but they can't. Victoria's hold it in. It's played up now. Evan Chudley looking to make his move up. Gets by number 2 and Philippe, but shot turned aside by Penner as Philippe and Chudley both kind of jawing at each other afterwards, but separated now. Face-off draw coming up inside of the Victoria zone. It'll be Jeremy Shadenough to take the draw for the Railer Express. One into the feet of Shadenough. Not strong enough back as was picked up by Dylan Jaquette. Jaquette now chips this out with one hand, has a man with him as well, and Kirkness heading up ice, heading towards the net. Jaquette can't quite get it through though. Good skate in the lane there from Todoruk. Now a chase down of this puck by Shadenough in on Goretzky. Penner, first one to cover it up there. There's another whistle gone here. Not even 2 minutes gone in this period, and what looks like a packed house here tonight, almost, in St. Vital at the Centennial. With the fans around us. Straw won by the Railer Express and sent down low. Swims around to Rubini, who flips this out cross ice to the direction of Anderson, as well as Netchwaduk. Netchwaduk gives a bump along the boards there to Shadanoff. Shadanoff gives one right back to Goretzky. Now it's in along to Jaquette. To Rubini. Plays it towards the net. Puck sent wide by the Victorias. So that'll get yet another stoppage in play here coming up. A game which we're pleased to bring you here tonight from St. Vital Centennial Arena. The last 2 times we've been out here, no success with our broadcast streams. It's been an internet problem, but seems like it's resulted here now. So special thanks to the folks down in St. Vital for making it happen. If anything, ended up changing from them on their part, trying to reset the routers last time out. Nothing worked, so maybe second or third time's the charm. It's allowed us to broadcast here tonight. Sent in deep by the Victorias. First one on it, Austin Campbell plays it up to a teammate. It turned over into the Victorias' possession now. It's Dayton Kiesman. It's a defensive partner and Philippe with a pass. Kiesman gets it back now up to Machia. Drops this for Imbrogno. His shot just wide on the net. Rebound there off the backboards, off the post. And out of play, I believe this puck goes. For the Railer Express. A bit of danger there off that shot from Imbrogno, which misses the net at first, but cuts a nice enough carom off the backboards to get to his own rebound and ends up going off the post. Nice zone entry, too, by number 13 and Dario Machia. Not forcing the issue at all. Patient as he cut to the middle there for dropping it over to Imbrogno. Held in by this Railer Express team. Picked off near the Vic's net by Baron Baker. Taking a bump was Mitchell, who that pass was intended for by Jace Larkins. Jaquette gets it back. Goes D-to-D with Baker. Baker plays it cross ice, up ice to Machia. Machia takes a hit, loses the puck, gets it over to a teammate. Now towards the net, into the high slot for Mitchell, but that pass unable to connect. Now the Railers looking to go up with some numbers. Chudley, his shot wide of the net is picked up by Johansson. He unloads a shot, now somehow gets through the legs of Baron Baker and forces Ethan Penner to make a save, and he does exactly that. A tough save and a great save made there by Penner. Locked in the whole way. Didn't see that shot at first as it got through that screen. Baron Baker, impressive by Johansson to even get it through. Thought Baker closed the lane enough with those legs to block it up, but stood corrected there. As this in the corner, bad spill by Nolan Vandenbush into the boards, but gets right back up. No penalty warranted at all on that play since Vandenbush fell his own power. This puck held in by the Railer Express. Battling along with it, the Victorias. Oh, a misplay there from Kobe Edwards. Ends up into the slot. As Edwards tried to send it down low, but ended up turning it over. It's Victoria's teammates. Held in at the point again by Cone this time. As Roan Coe sent it wide of the net. Victoria's, this line still struggling to get out. Huge hit laid in by number 2 and Philippe, however. As this puck flipped back again to the Vic zone. This line that struggled to get out right now of Edwards. And Jaquette's still out there. Still have their struggles. Out in front now, sent towards the net and covered up by Penner. That off of the stick of Shadanoff. And when we talked about surviving the Railer Express attack in the pregame show here, well, that on full display from the Victorias as they somehow survive all those chances. Sloppy puck management, something that from that line has to get better throughout this game, especially given their role, right? Them being one of the depth lines on this Victorias squad. Got to be able to rely on them in your own end. especially in a game like this if you want a good chance to win it. As that gets deflected out of play. This went over the glass by the Victoria's bench. Face-off draw set up closest to our broadcast angle as Netchwaduke and Shadenough tie up with each other. Draw one by the Railer Express as they go D to D. Jacob Howe sends this in deep just before the red line. No icing on the play. Big hit late afterwards. This loose puck picked up by Netchwaduke and now into the Railer Express zone. He brings it. Dropped it for Rubin, who sent it right back to Netchwaduke. Now up to the point to Goretzky. That shot tipped outside of the net. It goes off of in the Railer Express zone. Now up to the point. Goretzky shot fired on save made by Maroney. With just over 5 minutes gone only in this first period of action. This one brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. Be sure to check out their website at cancentralsportscards.com. As this draw, won by the Victorias, is sent down low, recovered by Berchanski. Plays this up the boards to Selin. Selin gets closed off though. This puck ends up in the neutral zone finally for this Railer Express team. Pruden, his shot blocked on the way through to the net by Jaquette. So the Victorias rim this around. Blake Lee tried to be first one on it. This gets past Lee onto Larkin's stick. His shot sails over the net, but off of the backboards. Controlled for a split sec there by the Railer Express and onto the stick of Selin. Selin tries to play that behind the back, but couldn't as that was cut off by Jaquette. Played up to Larkins as the Victorias and Railer Express played some catch there. Huge hit laid along the Vic's bench by Ambrogno there. Puck back into the Vic zone. Selin trying to shoot that through a screen. Rebound there off the backboards, but just high of the net off the stick of Pruden. So those have been lively to start off. Side of the net, Nathan Turner will have to hold off here as whistle's blown. So a fan beside me just knocked on wood. Assuming it's a Saint Vital fan since I'm sitting in the Saint Vital crowd. There's been a lot of chances early on here for the Railer Express, showcasing how strong their forecheck is. A team that plays with a lot of pace. They like to stretch the ice quite a bit too. Dump it in, get in on the forecheck. Caused some fits for the Victorias early on this game so far as Mitchell gets this back off the draw and gets it up to Luke Elliott, who tries to come in with speed. Spreads it cross ice instead. Machia, his shot. Be wide of the net there. Dario Machia played some games for the Victorias last season, in fact. More so late in season as he tries to lay a hit there. A Railer Express player. Good job of dodging that. Just played up to Coe. Tries to play this cross ice to St. Laurent, but couldn't get it there. This now on the stick of Luke Elliott at the blue line. Elliott draws a penalty after a toe drag. First one of the game coming up here to the Victorias. It'll be 2 minutes for a trip. So Victoria's power play about to go to work here. It's 17.7% on the season. It was clicking on Sunday, but nice job by Elliott. He's been playing with some good pace, some good speed himself to start off this game. Made a strong move to the outside to protect that puck. And all the Railers could do to eliminate a potential chance of shot on net was to trip him up. As this power play brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Kiesman wheels it in, drops this back for Netchwaduke. Gets this pass across to Rubini as Rubini backpedals, sends it right back to Netchwaduke. Netchwaduke dropped off the boards to Goretzky. Back to Rubini, surveying his options up top. Kiesman almost mishandles that pass, but controls it, sends it off the boards to Netchwaduke. Back over to Rubini. It's Rubini trying to go middle, but can't find a lane there to Kiesman. Rebound there for Netchwaduke, but couldn't find the handle on that puck. To Rubini again, his shot whistles wide of the net. Hard enough off the bank, off the boards to get out as Kiesman back on it in his own end. He's pressured there by Nolan Vandenbush, but made a nice maneuver with his skating ability to evade it. Now back into the Railer Express zone. Sent down low by Rubini. His pass cut off though. So the Railer Express rimmed this all the way down low to the Victoria zone. For the Railer Express, penalty kill wise, they've been very strong this season, 85.3%. And we're getting to look at exactly why here early on. As this puck sent out of play, 32 seconds remain on the Victoria's man advantage, but we see it there, right? For example, Rubini stick handling down low, trying to look to the middle for a pass, but it's just all clogged up there. The Transcon Railer Express do a very good job of keeping their opponents to the outside when they have success on the penalty kill. So for the Victorias, how do you find a way to break through that? Team had great puck movement on the man advantage on Sunday's MMJHL Game Day stream. This played up to Jaquette at the point. To Anderson. His shot turned aside off the blocker of Maroney as the Vics try to play this down low. Railers try to clear it, but can't. Held in by Mitchell. To Jaquette. His shot almost through, but Maroney able to get a piece of it. As with 3 seconds left on the clock, this all the way down. A very successful kill for the second best PK in the league, percentage-wise, in the Transcon Railer Express. So the Victoria is still searching for this opening goal. So we're back to 5-on-5. Michael Spence touched this up offside. 10:39 remaining. This first period of action. Coming up during our intermissions, we're going to show you some highlights from some games we've done in the past week here in the MMJHL for MMJHL Game Day. Not sure how much time we'll have to analyze before intermissions and stuff. We'll do most of the analyzing just after the period ends, given that the highlights a bit longer today in length. That shot turned aside by Penner as both teams in front of the net. Chudley, it's a bit of a two-hander there. A playful one, not playful I guess, but not the hardest one from Alessandro Imbrogno. He's defending his goaltender. Imbrogno in on the face-off draw now on Van Inbush. Wins this strongly to the boards to Evan Philippe. Imbrogno, of course, named player of the game for the Victorias in their victory on Sunday against the Raiders. Liked a lot of his game, how engaged he was, how he was creating offensively. Vicks turned this up over the middle. Vandenbush tries going backdoor, feeding it there. Ended up going to the slot for Jackson Sorrell, but Victoria is able to survive that chance. This goes down for an icing, and look, all for stretch passes if they work, right? But you got to be careful with them sometimes, especially if you're behind your own goal line and playing it up the middle there. Keesman a bit too confident on the pass. Thought he could thread it through the Railer Express players that were in the zone, but got tipped on the way out and held in at the line. So the puck slowed down just enough for the Railers to get a favorable bounce. As Keesman goes to battle down low with Michael Todoruk. Now Keesman laid out on the ice there by Shadanoff. And Brogno gave Shadanoff a shot back. The Victorias play this puck down deep into the Railer Express zone now as Blake Lee goes off for a change. Allows for the Railer Express to get this puck out. Sent in deep again by the Victorias. That off of the stick of Willis. Victoria's come away with this on the forecheck. This top line back out there as they work it D to D. That shot turned aside by a block by this Railer Express squad. But the Vicks able to turn it over back in their possession towards the front of the net. Scores! And does it end up being a goal, actually? It doesn't seem like it is. The team's remaining inside of the Railer Express zone. It will be a face-off instead, so the Victorias want a chance to have a chat with the referees here, their coaching staff on their bench. It's the head ref heads towards center ice to join another head ref here as them and a linesman discuss it. Let's see if we can take a look back at it here. It's turnover by the Railer Express at their blue line. And that's what I thought. The net being dislodged, so that's a tough break for the Victorias. I mean, you just scored the goal, right, and then you get that type of news. A frustrated group on the bench for sure hearing that. I mean, in my opinion, if you wait until after the goal, I mean, maybe the referees didn't call it right away. I'm not too sure if they called it a goal or not, but you have to expect that next time around they call that dead before the puck goes back in the back of the net. As this one remains scoreless here, 8:25 remaining. As the puck played D to D, a gasp from the Victoria's faithful here. So one could say that was a bit of a dangerous pass over to Baker. Now Goretzky tries to play this up the right side out, but can't as the Railer Express hold the line. Trey Sullivan versus back for Chansey. Across to Larkins. His shot wide of the net as Penner was ready for it. Came across with the glove out. As the Railer Express look to attack again, getting this puck behind the back of the net. But it'll be Netraduk who chips it up the boards. Anderson couldn't, however. So that's number 10 for the Victorias and Aiden Anderson. Or Nolan Anderson, sorry, number 10. Number 24 is now Aiden Anderson for this Victoria's team. Some number changes given that Dario Machia now a full-timer on this squad. Lucas Gilson also listed as a full-time forward on this team too for the Victorias. He wears number 26. Not sure if he's actually playing in tonight's game. He's been an X-factor in some of these Victorias wins so far this year. As blown up at the blue line there, Mitchell takes the brunt of a hit. It gets back up, back to defend now as the Railer Express come in. That shot, St. Laurent wide of it, gives a bump to Jaquette afterwards. A bit of a reverse hit as now a few more Vics gang up on St. Laurent there. That puck played towards the net by the Railer Express. Chudley, sorry, number 14. And Caden Seawalk, but couldn't get it there. Flipped out now into the roof at the Centennial. As the play gets blown dead. 6:49 remaining here on the first period clock. Thought Netraduk opened up the scoring in this game a few moments ago, but the refs waved it off due to the net being off its bearings, aka dislodged. Victoria's back in their own end, win this draw, but held in well at the point there by Roan Coe. Played up off the boards to Kirkness for the Vics off the breakout, but out of his reach off that pass from Kiesman. Played off the boards back down low into the Vic zone now. As Kiesman plays this to Edwards, gets this up to number 25 in Kirkness. Over to Jaquette, gets this back to Edwards. That shot from Edwards, wide of the net it goes. The rims all the way around to Philippe at the point. That shot gave Maroney a bit of difficulty. Rebound potentially there from Kirkness, but couldn't get it through. Kirkness, nice job to keep this puck protected along the boards. Gets it up top to Kiesman, whose shot tipped wide there of Kirkness. Nice attempt on the hand-eye from number 25. Good hand-eye there from Edwards to keep this puck in. The Vics can't get it towards the net. Played out finally, but gloved down right away by Kiesman and sent back in. Now played up by this Railer Express squad. Vandenbush tried to dangle in, but couldn't, lost a handle on the puck. Railer Express couldn't get it through on that shot attempt from the point as well afterwards. So the Victorias send this down deep. Larkins takes a bump there from Blake Lee, but it was too late as that puck already got to a man safely inside the Railer Express zone. Vic send it in deep again with 5:26 remaining here on the clock. This first period of action. It's back to the neutral zone, and Brogno has this stripped away by Shadenough. Given chases number 9, can't quite get there to block that clear out attempt from Penner, which was successful. Back down low to Penner, plays it quickly this time to Willis. Into the skates to Blakely, but nice job by Lee to recover that. and sent it up in the direction of Spence, but a bit too strong on the chip and chase. As it's called for an icing. Got a look at Jace Larkins there as he makes his way back into the Vic zone, getting set for an upcoming face-off draw here, which will be taken by Shadenough again, going up against Blakely. So both men square up, one by Shadenough. To the high point, oh, that shot off the post. It's to the point again, Larkins down low to Shadenough. As the net goes off its bearings. But what a chance there from the Rayleigh Express. Wasn't from the point where that shot came from, but high up at the face-off circle, right at the top of it, was Michael Todoruk. The execution there off the face-off draw from Shadenough. Todoruk unloaded a missile off that 1T. Just didn't get a good enough bounce to go off the post and in for this Rayleigh Express team. Into the slot again, pickpocketed with Shadenough. Shot turned aside off of that. And Johnson chance. Number 29 in Penner. Keaton Johnson, as I should say, wearing number 26. Not Kent. That's an NHL prospect. As that over to Baron Baker, sends this in deep. It'll be picked up by the Rayleigh Express. Bruchansky now flipping this all the way down into the Vic zone. Trying to send a man, but no one in that vicinity to catch up to the puck fast enough. This all the way down for an icing. Sets up an offensive zone opportunity for the Vics on the face-off draw. Still got some fresh legs out as well. This top line changing. It's out the second line, just centered by Connor Mitchell. So Mitchell wins this draw along the boards. They're picked up by this Rayleigh Express team, sent in deep. Rimmed around hard onto the stick. Keaton Johnson takes a bump and pinned up there by Jaquette. But loose puck freed up by the Rayleigh Express, so now they work this DDD out the point. Campbell shot through, rebound almost there for Turner, but hopped over his stick, back up top to Campbell. That shot can't get through. A good block, some good traffic from the Victorias. This was Baron Baker who got in the lane. Luke Elliott off the boards, tries to get that pass back, but couldn't. It's a set play for the Vics there. Now onto the stick of Sellon. His shot turned aside as it was a riser. Save well made there by Penner. It's now on the stick of Netchwaduk. This top line right back out for the Victorias as, oh, a bad check into the boards there by Netchwaduk on Howell. Lost his edge heading in after Netchwaduk gave a two-hander to number 20 as he goes to the bench. Quite slowly there. Netchwaduk in, that shot, rebound there. Nolan Anderson tried to whack away at it but couldn't. He's now in the corner, gets to this puck first. Trying to play it towards the net, but Rubini unable to get a look at that puck as he was covered up well. Stretch up by the Vics into the direction of Netchwaduk, but that puck unable to be cradled on there by number 11. So the Victoria send this in deep. Or no, sorry, the Rayleigh Express send this in deep to the Victoria zone. Off the skate of Edwards, played up to Rubini. Nice pass back to Edwards. That shot unloaded on, but blocked up by the Rayleigh Express defenseman. Edwards now along the boards contested as this puck whacked out by the Railers. Willis wheels back and plays it to the middle for Edwards. That shot, a nifty one, but a nice save made by Maroney. With 2:10 remaining here. What's been an entertaining first period of action, back and forth between these two sides. This will be Edwards back on the draw. To Anne St. Laurent afterwards. This puck played into the direction of Johansson. Edwards hopped to try to stop that from getting past him, up over him. But Edwards will be back on it again, this time with the puck on his stick. As Edwards stick handles quickly before sending this in deep just past the red line. Played onto the stick, St. Laurent. He gets taken out. No call here on the play. We continue. Jace Larkin shot off the glove of Penner. He couldn't squeeze that one. Larkin's down low. Tries to play this below the goal line further over to Carter Johansson, but couldn't. Nice job along the boards by the Railers to take it away. Number 19 in Sorrell. Sorrell lost where that puck was. It's tied up. Good support, though, from the Railer Express forwards. So they got the puck back. Vicks, though, able to create a turnover. Force a giveaway inside their own end. As it's on to Mitchell's stick. That shot a bit heavy going through. But a nice save made by Maroney. That pass a bit behind the neutral zone before Transcona sent it in deep. We're into the final minute of play here. Mitchell taken out. Hard into the boards. A bit dirty there from the Railer Express. No call on the play as Mitchell slow to get to his feet. As Mitchell regains his balance finally. Puck behind the net. The Railer Express look to go to work here. As is Vandenbush up to the point. Campbell, his shot unable to get through. Blocked up by some bodies in front. Off the boards, Mitchell gets it back. And got it to Machi. That pass behind a Victoria player, though. Mitchell gets some retribution there on the hit. Huge one inside the Victoria zone as this finally played out by the Victorias. Jaquette, just upon entry, sends that shot on net, turned aside by Maroney. As the Railers fail to flip it out, 10 seconds left. Play towards the front of the net, clogged up well by the Railers. So with 5 seconds to remain, huge hit there in the neutral zone on Rubini by the other number 9 in Shadanoff. We got a bit physical to end off this period. How else would it be here in the MMJHL, as this is a league that tends to get chippier and chippier throughout games from both teams, as the Victorias make their way off the ice first. The Railers will follow. We'll have the shot total for you coming up. The start of the next period of action. Thought that both teams did a pretty good job in their own defensive zone in terms of getting in the lanes and, you know, staying tight on each other. Good checking from both sides. One thing I think that does need to correct itself more so for the Victorias, and it did throughout that period, but something that needs to be better right from the start, is some of their puck management on their breakout attempts in their own end. The worst one I saw was Dayton Kiesman trying to stretch it up the middle and had it tipped and held in by the Railer Express, and they almost create a high danger chance heading the other way, right, onto the Vicks net. So, yeah, I think for the Vicks, continuing to preach good puck management, making good plays with the puck at all ends of the ice is going to be a key. And for the Railer Express, some good forechecking action from them a few times when they got in close but couldn't quite finish. They're looking for a bit more finish coming up here in period number 2. We're going to send it to last Thursday's victory for the Railer Express, the game that saw them clinch the playoff spot, the first to do so out of any MMJHL team at the time. This first period was brought to you by Canton Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. We'll throw it to their commercial one last time in this broadcast. Or no, we'll do that at the end of the highlights, and we'll be back here for period 2. The call of it coming up next as the Vicks Railer Express skated to a scoreless tie at the end of 20 minutes. What does period 2 have in store? We'll stick around to find out. Welcome into this week's edition to start off MMJHL Game Day in Stonewall, Manitoba, as the home side, the Stonewall Jets, take on the visitors, the Transcona Railer Express, picked off by Kat Grodowski. Has Slatcher with him, heading to the net. Tries passing over to Slatcher, but a great defensive play off the rush there by number 21 and Noah St. Laurent. Haven't seen Peyton Bateman out just yet. Just talked to him last night. And, yeah, not sure where he is at this point. Has not called number 44 yet, and I feel like that's quite unlikely that that happens that often. As out in front, the Jets muscle their way through to score. Tying this, or opening the scoring at 1-0. Van Bush unable to hold the line, circles back in the neutral zone as he comes in strong. Gets taken out, draws a penalty here on the play as well. A knee called on the play. A knee on knee. And Stonewall's bench having none of that right now. Shot 7-7 right now. Might be 8-7 at this point for the Railer Express, as they had 7 before that one, as they win the draw up to Austin Campbell. Plays it over to Whiteman. His shot turned aside. Sorrell misses the net there on that rebound chance. As Whiteman, we're on to a 5-on-4 now. Campbell over to Whiteman, off the mask of Hunnam, spells out to make that save. Another one coming, but a huge block by number 22, and Coleman tries to maneuver up the wall, but Chapman staying hard on him, battling with him still. But it'll be the Railer Express who get possession of the puck. Turner takes a big hit down low. Finishing the check there, number 55 and Slobosian, finally sent in by the Railers. Approaching the 3-minute mark of this first period of action. Shadden feeds this through. Keaton Johnson, denied by Hunnam. Kicked out wide by Kaczorowski to Slatcher. Can't catch up to that pass, however, as it's cleared out again by this Railer Express team. Nice forecheck by Shadden. Dangles through, what a move, but just misses the net. Maroney out of his own net to leave it for Bruchansky. Kicks this out wide to Larkins. Whips this across in the direction of Vandenbush. Doesn't get to number 22 instead. On a Shadden stick. Got it to Vandenbush in front, but he's turned aside. Let's check out our website for the full broadcast schedule for January, as it's up now. Blocked, and now here's a chance potentially for the Railer Express. Jackson Sorrell in alone on Hunnam. Somehow number 1 sprawls out to make a huge save with that pad. Turn this over down low. The Jets look to go tic-tac-toe. Kai Smith stripped of the puck there by Sorrell, and he feeds this up to Chudley. Chudley coming in on Chapman, but a nice job to take that away. No! Bad luck for the Jets results in a goal in the back of the net at the end of it. Front of the net, this Railer Express team tries to, but can't. Michael Todoric tried to hold it in with the skate, couldn't kick it far enough. This turned over. King, beautiful move, sent it over to Harrod, but could not finish off. Number 24 is giving good pressure. As this passed up to Nathan Turner, to him, Dangles, but Hunnam again with a big save of the Railer Express. Off the boards this goes. Slobosian holds the line. Quick shot from Kutras at the point. Another chance in tight. It's a lot. Actually, Dangle scores! Now with 5:36 remaining in the second period. D-to-D. A huge hit avoided there. Seeing it coming, and there's a rebound, scores! And Slatcher to take the draw. Ryland Slatcher along the boards, goes to battle with Campbell and ends up being victorious. Emerly, backdoor pass for Kaczorowski, rather the side of the net. Turned aside by Maroney as he saw it coming. Trying to get to this puck, but couldn't. A Jet retrieves first. As this sent up onto Halad's stick, a bit of a spin around, and gets that pass over. Spinning to make the save was Maroney. The double pad stack. A bit of old school here on this Thursday night. Tries to send it down low to Keaton Johnson, but it got cut off by Carson King as he whips this up cross ice to a teammate. Back to King, who tries to dangle in, but can't. They do for the time being, but one-handed out there by Seawalk. But the Jets get it back in. Garchinski has a man with him, and Coleman but decides to snipe and scores! For the Jets, getting the change up with Carson King out there now. Tie up on the draw, Sullen! Quick shot turned aside by Hunnam. By the Jets into the neutral zone and skated up. 2-on-1 potentially developing. Pass gets through, but Maroney comes across to make yet another spectacular save. That's a clear-cut penalty. Allows for this Railer Express team to go to work on a 5-on-3. Passed across, up to Campbell, back to Whiteman, scores! It's along the boards. Now onto the stick of Trey Sullen. Has Tyson Pruden with him. He stops up. Sullen, his shot, loose, scores! It's played off the boards, back into the Stonewall Jets end. Passed up, Chapman ends up losing an edge. This might be costly for the Jets as this pass sent it through the center. Oh, backdoor feed denied by Hunnam. But will they be able to against a really good Railer Express defense? Right now, Stoven fans on that shot. Maybe one more chance there out the wayside. Vandenbush with it. He puts this into the back of the empty net. And with that, we're not going.
Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry upper deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, the Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store.
Welcome back into St. Vital Centennial Arena here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, as the two teams playing here tonight, the home side, the St. Vital Junior Victorias, and the visitors in the Transcona Railer Express, skated to a scoreless tie in the first 20 minutes. Scoreless after the first 20 with shots, 16-13 in favor of the Transcona Railer Express. The starting goaltenders in tonight's action, Ethan Penner for the Victorias wearing number 29, and Logan Maroney for the Railer Express wearing number 1. I thought that the Vics opened the scoring off of a goal from Rylan Netchwaduk, but the net was deemed to be off by the referees before it went in. And to be honest, a bit of a questionable call because it was tough to tell from down here. Sure, the refs had, of course, the best view at it, but it didn't seem like it was off enough for a goal to be disallowed the way we've seen them before in this league, as, in fact, I believe last Friday night, the Charleswood Hawks scored when the net was slightly off against the Fort Garry Twins. So, at the end of the day, the refs get the call right if the net was off, which it was. And the Victorias have to, of course, search for a potential 1-0 lead once again, going back to square one after that. But both teams had, only one team actually had a power play opportunity. That was the Victorias in that period. And the Railers did a great job of killing it off. We're going to show you the standings here, but first, the upcoming games for this weekend. TBD in terms of the game tomorrow that we're supposed to live stream at Eric Coy. May not be since the Wi-Fi has been giving us issues there. But nonetheless, they'll be taking on the Raiders Junior Hockey Club. 3 matchups tomorrow night in the league. 5 on Sunday. We'll have that game on Sunday night between one of the teams playing today, the visitors, and the Railer Express taking on the Charleswood Hawks at East End at 7 p.m. A lone Wednesday game coming up in the league as well this weekend, or next week as I should say. And yeah, this is how the standings look heading into this weekend of action. 3 teams have clinched a playoff spot so far, one of them being the Transcona Railer Express. As both teams are back onto the ice now, we'll show you some stats leaders from around the league coming up in the next period of action, or during the next intermission, as I should say. As both teams back at center ice, the face-off has dropped. Puck has dropped on the face-off, as I should say, and we are underway here on this edition of mmjhl Game Day into period number 2 between the Railer Express and the Victorias. Played to the slot, but out of the reach for Mitchell there off that pass. Number 12 and Luke Elliott. This stretch pass up from the Railer Express all the way down too far for an icing. So it goes. There's a draw coming back inside the Railer zone. Draw won by the Railers. This puck sent out. On the stick, Nolan Vandenbush gets to it again, sends this in on net this time around as Penner steers this to the direction of Jaquette, as Jaquette played that just past number 19 and Sorrell. As this gets played up all the way by Howell into the neutral zone. Send back into the neutral zone as the Vicks try to stretch this up, but picked off by Bruchansky, just getting in the lane there to get in front of Rubini. Backdoor feed now, this time from the other number 9, and Shadanoff couldn't find the stick well enough of Keaton Johnson there, as Johnson back into the corner looking to challenge Evan Philippe. Shadanoff also in that corner. This puck taken away by Rubini as he plays it up. Number 10 and Nolan Anderson sent in deep by the Victorias. Rubini giving chase on it. Gets to it first on Jace Larkins. Good rub out there by number 5, giving it back to Rubini. As the Transcona Railer Express send this puck out. D-to-D, the Vicks feed this. But turned over off the boards into the Railer Express bench. That puck goes. The second period brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. This face-off draw won by the Junior Victorias. It's sent all the way down deep into their own end. A lot of yelling going on the ice right now, as Goretzky plays this up the boards to Luke Elliott, who chips this puck in. First one on it, Bruchansky. Nice little behind the back play to evade the pressure there of Mitchell. Puck ends up out of play. And with that, another face-off coming up. Inside of the Railer Express zone again. Kobe Edwards line out there. Much better finish to that period in the first than they started, as Edwards wins the draw to a point man in Willis, who has this puck stripped away after pinching up into the play. This puck picked off by Goretzky. His backhand shot quick and into the glove of Maroney, as number 1 able to make the save. So that brings on goaltenders onto the screen, your goalie's personal video review service. Sure to check out their website at GordyTumblesonGoalies.ca. The draw, just one there by Edwards, but not strong enough back, as Pruden first one on and gets it out, but too strong on that clear-out attempt as it goes all the way down for an icing. So yet another face-off coming inside this Railer Express zone now. It's Kobe Edwards chatting with his line mate Dylan Jaquette about something, not too sure what, of course, since we can't actually hear what these players are saying. Maybe one year we get these players mic'd up. Here's Trey Sullen, catches up to the loose puck, in alone, oh, denied by Penner. As Penner able to sprawl out to make that save with the left pad. Sullen whacks the boards with his stick in frustration. As finally the Railer Express able to execute on a chip out, stretch in the zone. Looked like a 2-on-0 at first. Sullen decides to take it all the way to the net. Looked like he had Penner beat, but Penner waited him out to the very end to make that save. Huge one there from number 29. Still scoreless here from the Centennial, as Kirkness goes to battle down low. Good check in there from Pruden. This puck sent into the Railer Express bench. Yeah, when we talk about a player like Ethan Penner, right, who's had a chance to play in this league before for a short period of time with the St. Vital Junior Victorias. Like, yes, his save percentage is only at .901, but an 8-5-2 record, and a goaltender that we've seen, just like moments ago, has been able to make some huge saves for his team so far this year in big moments when they need him to. And for the Victorians, it's about how do you help out your goaltending in front, I think, is going to be the test for them heading forward this season, as Blake Lee, lost a handle on that puck heading towards the net as he tried to pull it to the forehand. Shoot that quickly and tight on Maroney. Sent all the way out, down deep by this Rayler Express squad. So we'll get yet another face-off inside of the Rayler Express end. Nolan Vandenbush still out to take the draw. Going up against Netchwood as the top line after the Victorias. Rubini's heavy shot through and turned aside by a blocker of Maroney. Played up the left side by Rayler Express defenseman there, and Whiteman, that shot from the point turned aside by Maroney. $16:26 remaining now in this period. Victoria is keeping their top line out. The Rayler Express able to get a line change, and it's St. Laurent in against Netchwood on the draw, won by Netchwood. Gets to this loose puck, one hands it down low into the direction of Rubini. Netchwood gets it back, feeds this back door, but just in too tight for Nolan Anderson to do anything with that. So the Victoria is back in again. Philippe trying to get a shot through, battles through the check-in of Rayler Express player, almost does again through Howell, but lost possession of that puck. Now into the feet of Philippe, couldn't get it to the forehand, pull that back for a shot across to Kiesman. Kiesman gets muscled out into the boards, but right back on his feet. Nolan Anderson in a battle here in the corner, trying to evade the check-in, but couldn't get that puck up. Now chipped out successfully by the Rayler Express. Coming in 2-on-1 potentially. St. Laurent back door. Oh, nice save made by Penner on that chance. St. Laurent now behind the back. Shot on net. Turned aside by Penner. As this, almost off the skates of Kiesman, and a bad break for the Vics. On the brink there, but able to survive. Puck now near the blue line. So Victorias get possession of it. Played up the middle to Netchwood. Plays this with one hand to Rubini. Back in front to Netchwood. Off Netchwood's shin pad and wide of the net. Rubini from the corner. That blast turned aside and out of play into the mesh. What a shift there from the top line of the Victorias. Reminding us all why this duo of Netchwood and Rubini is, well, the best in the league objectively. Just the way they're able to come in with speed, work the puck. Now, they can't connect on those final passes, but just you can feel the Victorias, their scoring chances go up. Feels like quite a lot every time those two are on the ice. With a team that's been getting better contributions from their depth as the season goes along, too. Doesn't help when your top line is looking the way it has for the most part here tonight. With 14:42 remaining, we're going to get a face-off inside of the Victoria zone this time. And icing was called on the play. So it'll be Jeremy Shadenough to take the draw for the Rayler Express. As Todoruk up high at that circle. Didn't win it cleanly to Todoruk this time. He plays it down low into the direction of Keaton Johnson. Shadenough committed to a hit down low. Johnson now commits to a hit and lays one in the corner in the Victoria zone, but the Vics able to get it out. It's across Goretzky. Takes a quick shot on net. Rebound too far out for Blake Lee to catch up to it. Berchansky plays this up the left side. Line held though by Goretzky. That's just to the slot. Spence, his blast way over the net. Over the bar there. Of that net occupied by Maroney. Held in by the Vics. Oh, that shot just goes over the net again for the Vics. This time on the chance was Blake Lee. Imbrogno high up in the zone. His shot into the Rayler Express logo on Maroney's jersey. That's the quick counterattack from the Vics. Coming into play in this one. On this most recent shift that the Blake Lee line had. It was first Spence who whistled a one-timer from the slot over top of the net, and then the Vicks, good on the forecheck, good on the attack in that sequence, are able to get a quick pass right back across into the right slot for Blake Lee. I have to think if he connects a bit better on that chance, maybe the shot dips down a bit more and it maybe fools Maroney. But also big time there was Blake Goretzky, able to hold the line not once but twice. Came in with some speed down that right side and threw a quick shot on net that started that whole sequence. As the Railer Express chipped this one out. Another icing coming up here on the play. As Trey Sullen pleading his case to the ref, thinking that he beat this Vicks player to the icing. So it's him and Jaquette chasing that puck down. Another offensive zone opportunity for the Vicks. The Railer Express. A bit too many icings, I feel like, for their coaches' liking, however, in this one. Starting to wear on them quite a bit here. Luke Elliott, his shot can't get through. Vicks get it back up top to Jaquette, though, onto Elliott's stick. That shot blocked again, this time by Coe. Vicks, though, still hold possession. It's played across to Mott. Chia plays it to the point. Baron Baker's shot blocked up on the play by a stick this time of Declan Whiteman, but turned over, stripped away as Trey Sullen of the puck. Declan Whiteman able to get it back. Sullen also lost one of his gloves. Has to get there quickly to get it back on his hand. Sullen remains out there. The Vicks hemming this Railers team down low right now as puck finally sent out by the Express. But sent in right again by the Victorias. Getting fresh legs out on the ice and coming in hard on the Railers. This stretch pass up gets by the body there of Dayton Kiesman. It was Evan Philippe who recovered and played it right back. Kiesman being pressured along the boards, able to get this puck out all the way into the Railers zone. It's Dylan Jaquette, first one on it, what a pass! To Kirkness, denied by Maroney in front on the chance. As Dylan Jaquette going to the bench, a bit awkward in his body language. What a play there from number 16. Knew he was going to have someone wide open, and the first checker back for the Railer Express commits to Jaquette. He just lays a short little pass, a soft pass into the middle to wide open Kirkness, who in tight denied by Maroney. As that shot at the point tips out of the net there. Nolan Anderson, can't quite squeeze it through. Off the post it goes, now chipped out by the Railer Express. His first one on it will be Kiesman to get back. Off the boards goes up to Rubini. Rubini holds onto this puck, whips across ice to Netchwood, tries to take a step past number 8 in Austin Campbell, but Campbell, good defensive play there. This puck along the boards. Rubini trying to dig it free. Same with Nolan Anderson. As this play will be whistled dead. With 11:49 remaining on the second period clock. We're still scoreless here. Some high quality chances from this Victoria's team. Throughout this period, their forecheck has really come to life, and now we're seeing the Railers kind of get a taste of their own medicine right now. Still hemmed in the zone, played, left face off circle to Spence, can't get that through, rebound, scores! How do you do, Alessandro Imbrogno, putting that one just underneath the bar and tight on Logan Maroney. This puck stays loose in front, both teams scrambling to get it. Imbrogno with the great nose for the net that he's had, especially in these last few games, gets rewarded there. And with that goal brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. It's now a 1-0 lead for the Victorias. Could this be what the Railers need to get a spark back in this one as they come out hard on this next shift? Puck down low, and Brogno pinned up along the wall as he's down for support. It's Johnson who has him pinned. Is this loose puck off of a ref skate now, a head ref, and onto the Victorias as they look to chip this up the right wall, but cut off by Bruchansky. Bruchansky gets it right back, looks to flip this in deep, but is cut off right away by Michael Spence. Flips this into the neutral zone for Blake Lee, sends this in deep, and giving chase on it, the most recent goal scorer and the only goal scorer in this game in Brogno. Made Bruchansky a bit nervous down low as Bruchansky almost lost the puck. He gets it back. As past the red line, Bruchansky sends this in deep, rims it all the way around. Shot on net almost, but wide of it. Off the stick of Michael Todorek, the Victorias bring it back in. Nolan Anderson, he plays to the middle, that slot area, but Shadanoff was there to cut it off. Chudley gets two-handed afterwards, going at the player who did it, and Nolan Anderson, no call on the play. As this flipped up, but a bad bounce for the Railer Express. Somehow this gets called offside. I didn't think they were onside yet. Or rather, touch the puck up inside the blue line. So bring Terrico off the screen, getting ready for another face-off draw. This one won by the Railer Express. D2D, they play it. Declan Whiteman. His saucer pass not connecting with Sorrell in the middle there. That long shot on net from Nolan Vandenbush upon entry. So delayed offside on the play. Railer Express do clear, but the Vics get it back in. Machia tries to play that towards the net, but couldn't. Lee Goretzky holds the line, stripped away by Nolan Vandenbush, giving chase on Willis. Ends up being the first one on that puck. Onto the stick of Chudley, plays this across into the skates of Sorrell. That shot wide of the net there for number 19. Played up by Machia, over to Philippe. 2D-man into the rush, leading it. Goretzky tries getting it back, but that pass misses. Now stretched up onto the stick of Selin, just decides to chip this in deep. As Selin taken out, goes into the pads there of Penner. Afterwards, as Penner gave him a bit of a whack. As with that, it'll be the Railer Express who end up going to what will be their first power play of the night here. Be the Victoria's first penalty kill. This will be brought to you by Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. The Railer Express coming into this matchup with the number one power play unit in the league first, 22.3%. For the Victorias, however, on the penalty kill, even though it looked a lot better at times on Sunday, still last place in the league at 10th, heading in at 74.8%. Literally the biggest of polar opposites for sure. Taking a look, first power play going up against the dead last 10th ranked penalty kill, but so far this last ranked penalty kill looking pretty good for the Vics throughout the first 20 seconds. Snetchwaduk tried to strip away that pass, pick it off from Maroney as he sent it to a teammate. Played on net to Penner. The Vics, misplay on the way out. So they didn't get a good handle on that clear out attempt. It's Nolan Vandenbush. That shot through traffic, squeezed in by Penner. And turned aside. With a minute 18 of power play time remaining. Jeremy Shadanoff having a conversation with one of the referees before he goes off for a change. It'll be won by the Railers. To the point, Austin Campbell plays this cross ice to Sorrell. Sorrell unloads. That shot blocked there by Jaquette. Huge one, as that ends up out of play. As for Brady Jaquette, been very strong here tonight in his own end. Getting into lanes, playing with a lot of heart. Number 22 has been. Much of this Victoria's team is Jaquette able to muscle his way through and send this puck out. This is down low, Maroney. Oh, look out there, Jaquette. Almost in to take that away. But the Railer Express played up again. Sorrell down the left side off of the noggin there. Penner who shakes the helmet off. It's the Victoria's bench not too happy at all after the extra whack I believe they felt that the Rayleigh Express got afterwards once the helmet was off of Penner. No, it was behind the net. After the whistle, bit of a two-hander there from a Rayleigh Express player on a Victoria. There's a minute 53 remains. Or 53 seconds remains, sorry. Under a minute on this power play. Across Whiteman, his shot, getting a piece of it was Penner. So it gets out of play. Another huge stop there from number 29, the Vicks goaltender. Your goalie's personal video review service on the bottom of the screen. We'll be interested to see what the shot total for both these teams will be after this period. We still got a ways to go, though, as we're at about 8 minutes left. Still a Rayleigh Express power play. Played up top. Sorrell, his shot just wide of the net. It's a back down low to Whiteman. To Campbell, his shot high of the net this time around. As Kobe Edwards gets to it and sends it all the way down for the Vicks. Blake Lee coming again. Looking to make himself big to block that up from Maroney. Almost danger there inside the Victoria's bench. They went off for a change. Got to be careful not to have that too many men penalty called. But they get out of it with 16 seconds remaining on the Rayleigh Express power play now. 7:37 in this period in general. So draw just outside of the Rayleigh zone. Shadenough loses his draw to Netradukes. Puck sent all the way down deep into the Rayleigh zone. 10 seconds remain. It'll be interesting to see if Mitchell goes out or not to join Rubini and Netraduk, as we are back to even strength. A really good kill from the Victorias. The Rayleigh Express had some good puck movement, but not what we've been accustomed to seeing from this number one power play unit in the league. Huge hit there was by Todoric. Refs calling for an elbow. Or no, sorry, the fans calling for the refs to call an elbow, but they're not going to get it. This puck gets sent out of play. 6:59 remaining in the second period of action. Alessandro Imbrogno with the only goal in this game, putting it just under the bar on Maroney earlier on in this frame. It'll be St. Laurent to take the draw. I believe against Kobe Edwards. Edwards wins it. So this gets played to the left side off the stick of Dylan Jaquette. He plays it to Kirkness. Now blocked up in the pads of Dylan Jaquette as he gets tied up in the corner. Kirkness gets bumped. That puck there actually didn't even have it, but a reverse hit laid there by the Rayleigh Express. Stick knocked out of the hands of Seawalk. No call here for the referees. Gretzky almost getting that loose out in front to Edwards. Edwards recovers this puck now, trying to stick handle through the traffic, and does. Backhands this down low to Kirkness. He takes a bump there from Coe onto Whiteside's stick, or Whiteman's stick as I should say, but not able to be cleared out. Onto Coe's stick again. So he plays this up the boards all the way down for what is not an icing, waved off right away here by the referees. Skoretsky plays this into the roof. Well, support beams holding this roof up at the Centennial as we get another whistle on the play. Face-off coming inside of the Victoria zone. 6:03. The 1-0 lead here in the second period. So onto the stick of Michael Spence. Spence, nice little draw pass to Blake Lee, but has this intercepted right away. Sorrell tries to get this pass up to Nolan Vandenbush, but that not strong enough to get to him. This is now saucered up to Vandenbush. No icing called on the play as it was deemed to be tipped up. The other number 22, Andre Jaquette, first one on it. Held in at the point now by Austin Campbell for the Rayleigh Express. Kicked up to the stick of Chudley, who fires this wide into the corner. Side of the big zone. It's Brady Jaquette down low. Passes up that left side to Blakely off of his stick. This puck ends up back down low into the Vic's end. To be skated up there by Baron Baker. As Baker sends this in deep into the Railers' end. That almost good hand-eye by Mitchell to intercept it through the neutral zone. Now the Vics lose possession of this puck for a split second. Now get it back onto the stick. Machia, his shot turned aside by a block there by Howell. Backhand flip out of the zone. And all the way down to the Victoria's end. It'll be Dane Kiesman who recovers it. Takes it around his net and looks to go for a skate. Looks to get by. Just does sidestep a man as this puck now sent cross ice. No whistle on the play here for what could have been an offside. Mitchell takes a bump in the corner. Now to the slot. That blast from Machia. Blocked up by the Railers. Vicks get it back. Low shot turned aside by Maroney. Elliott locates a man high slot there. Machia just loses the handle on it. Gets it back to Philippe, who looks to fake the shot. Unloads. Tipped wide of the net there by Mitchell. Number 17 Imprudent tries to take away the stick of Elliott, but couldn't get to the puck. Now Kiesman can't keep that puck in as it went off of, I believe, the skate of Mitchell and out. Loose puck picked up by Turner, drops this back to Sullen. Sullen loses a bit of an edge, though, and misplays this onto the stick of Machia to Rubini. Oh, Rubini ran out of room. Sticking out that pad was Maroney to make the save with 3:46 remaining. In a period where the Vics continue to give the Railer Express fits trying to break out. Even when the Railer Express do break out, the Vics playing really sound, really tight in the neutral zone, forcing turnovers and skating right back in again. This draw, won by Netraduk. High shot turned aside, flashing that leather and squeezing the glove. On that puck was Maroney. That reverse grip working that time for Netraduk on the draw. They'll look to do it again against Shadanoff. Netraduk does win that draw. Up to the point, Goretzky tries to get this down low. Goretzky, upon the turnover, able to hold the line, got that puck to the net. But covered up there by number 1 in Maroney. Netraduk signals Nolan Anderson to drop back a bit on this face-off draw. This time loses it to Shadanoff as this sent all the way out inside the Vic zone. No icing called on the play once again. How's that working out for the Railer Express? Shadanoff tried to send that down deep but couldn't. It was cut off by the Victorias. As this played up. Oh, nice one-handed chip pass by Netraduk. Tries to feed Rubini backdoor, but couldn't get it there. As just sprawling out to disrupt that was a Railer Express defenseman. Believe it was Bruchansky. Now it's on to Rubini's stick again. As Rubini, his pass, unable to stay inside the zone. The Vics have to regroup. It was flipped all the way in by Goretzky. On to Bruchansky. Plays this cross ice. D to Larkins. So the Railer Express have it back inside the Vic's end. Keaton Johnson trying to take this away from Edwards. Almost does. Side of the net. Sprung out to make the save. Penner somehow 29 keeps it out of the net. Both teams walking away at each other afterwards now. As the referees able to separate the two sides. Coming up on what is 2 minutes and 34 seconds left of action here in the second period of action. On MMJHL Game Day here on G-Show Productions, your home for MMJHL hockey here in the province of Manitoba. We're in store for what should be a glorious third period of action. Penner diving to make the save to cover this puck up. 2:27 remaining now on the clock in this second frame, but this period, of course, been brought to you by Terrico and goaltenders. The Victoria's netminder here tonight. Speaking of goaltenders, been really sharp and playing desperate too. in a good way. Declan Whiteman shot turned aside, read well from the point there by Penner. The Vics try to rim this puck out and do all the way too hard. It's all the way down for an icing. So we got yet another face-off draw coming up here. The Railer Express looking to get some fresh legs out onto the ice. This top line of Vandenbush, Chudley, Jackson, Sorrell in to take the draw against the Edwards line. Kobe Edwards able to win this up to Dylan Jacquette as Jacquette trying to squeeze his way through, couldn't split the D as this puck trickles in towards Maroney as he covered it up. The referee really not happy with the Railer Express right now. Something that happened afterwards on that play there in the corner. Be interested to see when they call one of those after being animated with the players, but with that face-off draw inside of the Railer Express zone, won by number 22 in Vandenbush against number 11 there in Netchwood Duke. Taking an awkward spill, number 10 Nolan Anderson, as Anderson gets a stick in the way. Jackson Sorrell as he tried to recover that puck in the neutral zone. This rimmed around all the way to the half wall. Kicked out by Penner there on that save on Nolan Vandenbush. Rubini tries to dangle in, loses the puck. It's on the twig of Nolan Anderson, though. Rubini sends it out in front. Loose puck bobbling in front, but couldn't do much on Maroney. So I'm pretty sure he hugs the post afterwards, thanking it. But this trickles up back to Rubini. Drops this back to Anderson. Tries to feed it back to Rubini, but couldn't. Quick pass onto the tape of Netraduke. Across crisply to Nolan. His pass in front to Rubini. Couldn't get there. Held in at the point by number 7 in Kiesman, who shot dipped down a bit and into the glove. Save made by Maroney. With 1:07 left in this period. 8:46 on this Thursday night. Live from St. Vital Centennial Arena. The Connor Mitchell to take the draw against Turner. Nathan Turner, that is. This draw won by the Victorias. Activated in on the last minute of the play was Kiesman scores! Connor Mitchell sets himself up in the slot, and let's go. A nice one-timer. Too quick for Maroney to handle into the back of Transcona's net. And with that, the Victorias in the final minute of play here in this second period. Score could be an insurance marker here, up 2-0. That goal brought to you by Terrico. The Vics right back on it. It's Mitchell. Tries to feed this through. Couldn't get it to Luke Elliott. So he was heading towards the net. Nathan Turner making headway up in this final minute of action for Transcona. Plays it across the cell, and that shot high of the net there as Penner dove out to make that save. All for naught there, but good effort nonetheless from number 29. As this played into the middle. Kept in by the Railer Express. Shot wide of the net with 12 seconds remaining. Victoria's try to clear, but they can't. Jace Larkins has a bit of trouble with it, though. Able to hold the line in the end. Turner's shot late in this period. Turned aside by the glove there of Penner, flashing the leather. So with 4 seconds exactly left on the clock. Sullen, Philippe, and Imbrogno with some words for each other down low. Well, the goal line, as you can see there. It'll be Jeremy Shadenough with Michael Todoruk behind him, trying to win this draw cleanly to Todoruk. Could not tied up on the face-off draw, as this ended up to the boards. Horn sounds as the whistles blow. And both teams here skating into the intermission with different feelings, I'm sure, right now. For the St. Vital Junior Victorias, I mean, you can't be any more satisfied with how that period went, right? You forced the Railer Express to take many icings. You got your forecheck going and were able to hem them in their own end. And you're able to come away with not only one but 2 goals here, and the first to score in this game, so you have the Railer Express behind the 8 ball. So these are the things you have to do to beat a team like the Railer Express and to give them some problems. You have to pressure them constantly. Give them a taste of their own medicine, is what we're seeing from the Vics, is what we've seen on a consistent night in and night basis, game in and game out basis from this Railer Express squad all season long. The Vics high and finishing in front there from Imbrogno on his goal to draw first blood in this one, and then really nice play by Dayton Kiesman, activating into the play, coming down low, feeding this puck into the slot for the Vics as it works its way over to Mitchell as he lets a one-timer blast go past Logan Maroney. We're going to send it to our second intermission screen here. No highlights coming up for this next intermission since they're a bit too long, about 8 minutes in length. So we'll be back after, a bit of time here. Our promo screen will be shown. You'll hear from Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, as well as, hearing some more analysis from us from how this game's been going so far and how that second period went specifically. We'll have the shot updates and the goal scores for you all coming up next. And the second period that was brought to you by Terrico and Goaltenders. More mmjhl hockey to come here, folks. Third period coming up. The Vics up 2-0 over the Railer Express. Do the Railers have what it takes to come back? Do the Vics have what it takes to finish off this one? Stick around to find out.
Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools has been the place to shop for your industrial needs for over 20 years. Carrying the tools you need to get the job done from the brands you can trust, Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools has you covered. Brands like Milwaukee Tool, established in 1924 and on display in our Milwaukee Red Zone, the largest red zone in Winnipeg. With construction workers and tradespeople in mind, Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools is your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. So come on down to our Winnipeg store location today, located on 1557 King Edward Street in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
And welcome back into St. Vital Centennial Arena, ladies and gentlemen, mmjhl fans and hockey fans alike, into this upcoming period, as we have the third period on deck here coming up, where the St. Vital Junior Victorias, the home side, lead the number one team in the league, the visitors, in the Transcona Railer Express 2-0 after the first 40 minutes of action. Goal scorers were Alessandro Imbrogno, his fourth of the season, opened up the scoring, assisted by Michael Spence and Blake Lee. 8:19 into the period, and with 57 seconds left, Connor Mitchell lets go an absolute bullet past Logan Maroney to give the Vics a 2-0 advantage. Shots were 19-9 in favor of the Vics throughout that period. A strong forecheck, some great pace from this Vics team, good decisions with the puck, quick puck movement, and just quickness in general led to some really good things for a team, of course, that is looking to get to their 18th win of the season, looking to get to 40 points, looking to close in on clinching a playoff spot. 3 teams have clinched already, the Railer Express, the Hawks, as well as the Twins. In terms of how the rest of this weekend's action is going to be looking, only 3 games are going to be played tomorrow. On Sunday, going to be all 10 teams in the league playing in games, 5 games in total. We'll have mmjhl game day live on Sunday night. A rare Sunday night matchup at East End Arena at Transcona, as the Hawks will be in that barn to take on the team you're watching tonight in the Railer Express. But this next period of action for the third will be brought to you by Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. In fact, before we get going here, we'll show you the stats leaders coming up here soon throughout this period. Totally slipped my mind that I said I was going to do that. But as for this period number 3, we are officially underway as the Victorias with the 2-0 lead. As this puck sent in all the way deep into their own end. Chudley able to get to that puck first. Good positioning on a Vicks defenseman. Quick shot from Van Den Busch, turned aside by that pad of Penner. Played down low. It's the Railer Express coming out with a lot of fire to start off this period of action. Down 2-0, need to press here fast to get back into this one on the scoreboard. Cut into this Vicks 2-0 lead. Works this back into the Victoria zone. Headmanned up by Jaquette up the boards to his brother, and Dylan Jaquette does that all the way down for an icing. But yes, we will get to the stats leaders here, as we did get an icing on the play. These are how the goal leaders look in the league. Rubini still leading the league in goals. Nathan Turner third in goals. Ruby and Netruduk assist leaders there. And as for the goaltenders, Maroney in the top 5 in wins so far this year, as Penner has to make a save. Covers things up. But yeah, Rubini, Netruduk in the top 5 in points in this MMJHL season so far. Rubini was once leading the league in points, but has slowed down quite a bit for his point production as the season has gone along. Had a ridiculous start to the year. As throughout that first month of October, he was definitely the story. Where Rubini, the best month out of any player so far, had 30 points in 12 games, which was absolutely ridiculous. Interested at the time to see if he could keep that pace up, which, I mean, his pace has still been pretty good point production-wise, as among the top players here in the MMJHL. So you just saw, just past the blue line, the Railers get it out, sent in all the way as Penner able to come out to play this puck, turned over, and that tipped wide of the net from the Railer Express on the chance that they just had. Netruduk tries to play this up the middle. Nice stick in the lane from the Railers to take it away. Now bumped off the puck as Kiesman taking a check from Shadenough. Michael Todoruk going to work along the boards before firing this puck off of sticking out of play. So we got a face-off coming up inside of the Victoria zone. Connor Mitchell, the most recent goal scorer in this one. The poster boy for our promo screen, as you have seen throughout this episode, is out there with his line mates now. Machia giving chase on Railer Express defenseman. This all the way back inside the Victoria zone, rimmed around, hard enough out past the stick of Austin Campbell. His number 8 couldn't hold the line. This loose puck picked up by Machia. Tries to play this pass over to Mitchell, but stick in the lane from the Railers disrupted that on the way through. That was the stick of Pruden. He's out there with Turner. As Turner gets this into the neutral zone, it's intercepted by Willis. Walks in, that shot wide of the net. So it'll be taken away by Howell. Now has the puck on his stick. Flips this into the neutral zone, but batted down well there by some good hand-eye from Blake Lee. Is taking a hit to make a play as Machia sends it to Blake Lee, stops up, tries to send that towards the front of the net where Imbrogno was there. But a nice defensive play of that stick by Turner to eliminate that chance. This puck sent down low. Seawalk sends it out in front. No one there, though, for his Railer Express teammates. This puck remains inside of the Vic zone. And Imbrogno finally gets it out. Took a bump from Seawalk as well. As icing not called on this one. Austin Campbell looking to skate up the middle, and he does. Now into the neutral zone. Past the red line, off of a light that goes. So you can see it slightly moving right there by our scoreboard. You know, in a way, it's quite interesting to see that. The lights hanging from the roof in this arena. I mean, maybe I just haven't been paying attention, but don't seem as exposed in other rinks here in the city. Maybe I'll just have to keep my eyes open better moving forward here. So yeah, I know that's been an issue at times here. The puck getting flipped into the wooden roof. There's a big hit there by Philippe on St. Laurent. Philippe gets it back into safety, reverses this all the way across to Kiesman, as Kiesman able to cut through two Railer Express defense and go the other way. Loses his balance onto his knees, takes a hit, and touching his head a bit afterwards as he whacks Seawalk on the play. this stretched up now onto the stick of Dylan Jaquette. In alone, that shot, oh, wide of the net. And the crease occupied by Logan Maroney. The Railer Express able to chip this out into the neutral zone. Carter Johansson couldn't quite get that puck back. So it's now Ezekiel Kirkness who skates this down the left side. Kirkness tries to send a puck on net, which he did rebound there, but swallowed up well by the Railer Express as this sent out. Chudley trying to be first one on it. Waved off icing. Penner able to get it first and send it just past Chudley. Bumped down below there. Barron hit by Vandenbush. Puck gets sent out of play by the Victorias. So the draw will stay within the Railer Express zone. And for the Railer Express to start off here, playing with even more jump in their game than we saw in that second period of action, and been forcing more icings in their favor as the Vics have been just chipping this puck out, looking to protect this lead here. As the Railer Express look to get back on the puck in the corner. This whacked out, chopped out by number 23, and Edwards. Icing will be negated here on the play as it ends up on net, where Maroney stops it up. Stretch pass up now to Chudley. Chudley in battling with Willis along the boards. Willis, good job to rub him off the puck. This gets loose to Tyler Rubini, who is building up some speed. Down that right side, Rubini stick handling. Tries to drop that pass, but flubs on that attempt as the Railer Express able to get it out. Ends up high slot. Rubini kicks it to the outside. Tried to unload that shot, but couldn't. It's a little toe drag in and kick out from number 9 there, trying to create some space for himself. It's a move we see quite often from him. A move that when he's able to pull it off, it's just been so fun to watch. The tricks he has in his bag. As Netraduke loses the draw on that reverse grip. Glove down by Todorek, or deflected with the glove. It'll be called a hand pass. As face-off will be coming right back inside, or just outside of the Railer zone. Netraduke against Shadanoff, won by Netraduke. Nolan Anderson trying to get to that puck first, and he does, strips it away. Oh, fans on the shot attempt. However, as that goes out the wayside for number 10. The Railer Express looking to chip this in, delayed offside on the play, as Michael Todorek was the one who would have been caught. As this ends up back inside the Railer zone. Quickly out in front, but that missing off that attempt of a pass from Netraduke. 4-on-2 coming down the other way with number Shadanoff scores! Well, it's this time for the Railer Express. They're able to get loose this time around. So I was going to say, with numbers going down into the Victoria zone, a 4-on-2 developed. This gets dropped past to Shadanoff, and with an accurate shot, one that Penner wants to have back, hard enough to get through Penner, and to put this Railer Express team onto the scoreboard for the first time here tonight on That Goal, brought to you by McKenna Fasteners and Tools. Your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. We'll look back. Yeah, the Victorias. It's just a pass down low from Netraduke. All 3 forwards were caught down low. That turnover proves costly. Netraduke was trying to make his way back hard on the back check. Lost an edge in the neutral zone, which effectively eliminated him from getting back into the play there. As this turnover again in tight, this time making the save as Penner. Puck knocked off its bearings afterwards. And all of a sudden, the puck management here for the Victorias. A bit of a challenge for them as the Railer Express playing with a bit more jump. The second line out for the Vics with Mitchell. Strong face-off taker. Going up against a pretty good face-off man himself in Turner. Draw will be won by Turner, strongly on the backhand. Played up to Jace Larkins. His shot can't get through. Blocked up by number 22 there in Jaquette. This now chipped out of the Vic zone, but just out of the reach for Luke Elliott. As the Railers get it right back in. Bouncing in on Penner, and Penner just covers this one up. Railer Express kind of crowding him afterwards. Baron Baker boxing a man out. There's 13:05 remaining in this third period of action. The Railer Express with another offensive zone face-off draw here. It'll be St. Laurent taking it against Imbrogno. Won by Imbrogno. Down below the goal line. He's been rubbed off the puck. Hard on the forecheck. Rebound out in front. The Vic's cleared away. Is that all the way down for an icing? Heads up play there from Imbrogno to just clear that out of danger. But just talking about how strong that forecheck has been for the Transcon Railer Express in this period. Just hard on the Vic's defenseman, pounding them down low with physicality. It'll be Michael Spence now for the Vic. Going the other way, plays it to the front of the net. Blake Lee can't tap it in, instead puts it home for a field goal over top of the netting. As both teams drawing at each other, still down low below the goal line. Almost a great opportunity there for the Victorias, and Michael Spence, the great job, good awareness to feed a pass in front to Blake Lee on what was a 2-on-1 chance. And Lee just not good enough with the stick there to handle that pass as his redirection goes a bit wonky. As this face-off draw inside of the Railers, and a rare occurrence so far this period. Tipped wide of the net. The Vics look to get on the cycle, look to generate something. Bumped along the boards. Not sure who that was, but it's Dario Machi who gets in the lane to keep this in. Tries to pickpocket the puck again. The buck could not. It's Luke Elliott now. His shot through and turned aside by that glove of Maroney. 12:20 remaining. Connor Mitchell getting a bit cheeky after the whistle. Tied up a bit with a Railer Express player. He goes back to the face-off draw to square off against Nolan Vandenbush, the captain for the Railer Express. Vandenbush loses this draw to Mitchell. Back to the point. Baron Baker, his shot through. Loose puck, trying to find it was Mitchell. Couldn't. Ends up into the Railer Express crease again. Where Maroney will just take some time to cover this up once again. Both teams continue to shove and push after the whistle. Or rather, push and shove, as I should say, in the correct order, as the old saying goes. 12-12. One-goal game. Railer Express scoring here a few moments ago. Off of Jeremy Shotonoff. Delivery into the back of the net, finding that loose puck out in front. As Brady Jaquette, first one on this, plays it up to an outlet man, and Machia got it to Mitch, who's just able to get out of the zone, got that puck up to Luke Elliott. His backhand attempt on net. Good, but into the glove. Easy work for Maroney. So we got yet another face-off coming inside of the Railer Express zone. Leave your thoughts in the comments too, everybody, if you think we may see a fight at the end of this one, or if you think we'll just play cleanly that way down to the buzzer. We usually do see a fight over here at St. Vital Centennial Arena. Michael Todorek shot on net. Turned aside by Penner. To be fair, though, those have happened usually when games have been kind of decided already on the scoreboard. This one, far from decided. Sits the Railer Express back into the Vic's end. With an offensive zone face-off draw. One, but not strong enough to get to Todoric. Held in at the line by Larkins. Quickly down to Shadenough. Up quicker, back to Todoric, but lost a handle on that puck. Shadenough back down low. Plays it opposite side to Keaton Johnson, who goes to battle with Willis. Willis turns this over now to Johnson. Tries to dangle in. Stood up there, though, by number 10 and Nolan Anderson as he eliminated his chance to the net. Here's Rubini now skating in. Plays it towards the net, looking for a backdoor feed, but couldn't get it there. 11-11 remaining in this period. Now Shadenough trying to dangle through, but stood up well there by Kiesman, as this chipped off the boards into the direction of Nolan Anderson. That pass up to Rubini, just out of number 9's reach. Captain couldn't handle it. Just a bit of a bump down low to Bruchansky. This puck turned over into the neutral zone, onto the stick of Kobe Edwards. Picks it up to himself with a bit of trouble, being hounded there by Shadenough. He's finally able to get away from him. This pass able to get cross ice. Completed to a Victoria's player who sends that in deep. That was Dylan Jaquette. As Edwards bumps a man into the boards there. Turner rolls over Victoria on his way out. So it's now onto the stick of Turner. Has a man heading towards the net, and Pruden passed to him, but Pruden couldn't handle that pass. Was bobbling all the way through. Couldn't get it to settle down. Selling in on the forecheck. Trying to force this turnover in on Kiesman. Ends up into the Vicks possession as puck sent in to the neutral zone, almost to the Railer Express end. Kirkness tied up with a man, allows for the Railer Express to get this up. Selin, backhand on net, tipped on the way through. Pruden from behind the net, trying to bank it off a Penner, but couldn't. So we got a whistle here on the play. I believe they deem the net to be off there. So with under halfway left to play here in this third period of regulation, the Vicks right now holding on against this Railer Express team who keeps coming at them. Rush chance after rush chance created so far here. Puck luck could be a bit better for the Railer Express, they'd like to think for themselves. It's that pass across to Pruden. It's bobbling all the way through moments ago off of the stick of Selin. Penner lost his stick behind the net, now gets it back. It's into the Railers' end. As Bruchansky, short little backhand pass, gets it right back behind his own net. Surveying options, goes up the middle onto the stick of St. Laurent. Was going to be out of his reach, so does a smart thing, just chips this in, or redirects it in. It's Transcona. Unable to hold the line, though. They go D-to-D, Austin Campbell, and no offside on the play. They cleared the legally beforehand. St. Laurent bumped off that puck. On the boards as it came to him by Baron Baker. Puck sent in deep into the Railers' end now. This played up the right side. So they try to work this out inside their own end. Played across onto the stick of number 14 and Seawalk. Fanned on that pass attempt across, so just decided to send it in deep once he got it back. Went off for a change. It's Blake Goretzky making his way up with speed. Cuts to the middle now. Now goes through the middle into the zone. Couldn't quite split the D. Loose puck picked up by Machia. Has it blocked up on the shot attempt through. The Vicks kick it back to themselves. Onto the stick of Mitchell as he's back in the defensive position to cover for Goretzky. Can't make headway up, however, successfully. Kicked up by Philippe. Kicked out. Number 13 in Machia, who sends this in deep. 8 minutes remaining now in this final period of regulation. Philippe from a far ways out. His shot sailed into the glove of Maroney. So delayed offside. Still here on the play for the Victorias. So this will be sent down all the way. Maybe a bit of miscommunication on if they even cleared out of the zone or not, but it's real tough when it results in a break like this, where the Railer Express have another offensive zone face-off draw. Selin at the top of the face-off circle. Turner in on the draw. Tied up there by Mitchell as it allows for the Vicks to get out of the zone. Kicked out to Rubini. Rubini, he unloads, fires, rebound. Squirts behind the goal line. It's back down low in the direction of Ruben. He had Philippe with him, as Philippe going to make his way back to his defensive position and does at the blue line. Nolan Anderson has that taken away, and now it's the Railer Express trying to make their way up. Turner forces this turnover onto Sullen's stick, but loses a handle on it, heading to the net. Penner taken out hard there by Sullen on his way to the net. The netminder for the Vicks a bit slow to get up. Finally is, and linesman puts his arm around him afterwards. Trey Sullen still not on his feet here. Takes off his helmet. Surprised we haven't heard from his number one fan here so far tonight. Wonder if he'll say something in the chat after we said that, but both Sullen and the Victorias continue to talk back and forth with each other. Sullen made his way towards the bench. And to be honest, Sullen, not much he could really do there to evade that as he was heading hard to the net. Got taken up by a Victoria on his way there, so dems the brakes, as they like to say, or as the old saying goes. Penner made a nice save on that first face-off draw. Railers get it back. Can he make another one? That shot just catching a piece of the blocker of Penner that time around. And kept down low by the Railer Express. Tipped wide of the net there in front by Chudley. Sent out in front. Into the slot, cut off by the Vicks. Mitchell takes a hit to make the play. Call coming up on the play this time, as Mitchell seeing a bit of growth from number 14. Not even retaliating there afterwards. Oh, no, sorry. I mean, he hasn't retaliated before, but this time drawing more penalties tonight than he usually takes. And for the Victorias, it's going to be 2 minutes on the power play, brought to you by McChem Fasteners and Tools. That call for interference. So for the Vicks, with 7 minutes remaining, up by a score of 2-1, once up by 2. Can they regain 2-goal lead here against what's second best penalty kill in the league, going up against the 7th best power play? Vicks at about 17.7%. Railer Express 85.3% on the PK. So the only team better than them in that area is St. Boniface Reals on the PK, upwards of over 87%. Dane Kiesman, his saucer pass over the stick of Netraduke. Rubini down low, battling with Larkins, gets this puck back. Or sorry, that's number 25 and Kirkness going to work down low. Rubini on the opposite side. As the Vicks trying to get this puck free and loose. Up top to the point, Kiesman to Rubini. Tries going backdoor, sends a shot on net instead. Rebound there, banging away at it as the Vicks. Kirkness trying to bat that in midair, but could not. Would have been legal too with that stick below the crossbar. Turned over into the middle of the ice, and into the roof it goes. To the neutral zone. Joey P. feeling that was a dive on that penalty to Connor Mitchell. Honestly, debatable. We'll let you be the judge. Look back in the stream, everybody, and yeah, let us know if you thought, your thoughts on that one. Joe's given his opinion. Would love to hear from you. Side of the net, that turned aside. Ezekiel Kirkness. Turned aside by Maroney. Look wide open. Rubini was there back door, but the Vicks just worried about getting the shot on net there with 52 seconds left on this power play. So that draw won by the Railer Express, but pinned down low as the Victoria's try to keep this puck in, they can't. Some go Vicks and go Railers chants being started here from a few fans in the crowd. Not sure if you could hear it. This Vicks team looking to work one more chance up on this power play. Almost a dangerous pass there from Nolan Anderson. Almost got it intercepted there by the ever so dangerous Jeremy Shadenough, who's had himself a night so far, scoring the lone Railer Express goal. This puck down low into the Railers end. Mitchell, the one who drew the penalty, back out there. So he was tied up. Railers able to get it out. We're back to even strength. Nolan Vandenbush tried to feed a shot through, but blocked up there on the play. So now the Vicks able to get it out. Play cross ice. Onto the stick of Bruchansky. Number 22, Jaquette. Tried to lay a hit there on the other number 22, the captain for the Railers. And Vandenbush lays one right back on Jaquette. No call on the play. Potential hit from behind there. Once again, we'll let you be the judge about it. So we'll be looking back at that coming up. As this chipped in, Blake Lee trying to race to it first, but Maroney able to cut it off out of his own crease. 4:20 remaining in this period. Down low, the Vicks looking to keep it there. Railers looking, of course, to work this puck out, and they do just that. Dane Kiesman, just before the red line, fired it in. I guess it was afterwards, since no icing was called on the play. Allows for the Vicks to get a good change of players out. Fresh legs out onto the ice. Evan Philippe up the boards, trying to stretch this up, and does to Luke Elliott. Cut off right away, though. And number 26, and Keaton Johnson on the back check back. Swooping in. Rylan Etchwood chips this off the boards. Sorry, it's the Railers who do. Keaton Johnson maybe arguing for some interference there as he is held up by Luke Elliott. Railer Express battling along the boards there with the Vicks, and this out onto the stick of Tyler Rubini. Looking to go one-on-one, trying to dangle past Whiteman, but could not. Rubini back on it, tries feeding it back door, but nice defensive stick by the Railer Express to disrupt that and send this all the way out. So with 3:14 remaining, we'll be back inside the Railer Express end. See if we can take a look at this hit from behind. Not sure if we'll be able to. A bit too far back in the stream at this point. This held in by the Victorias. Long shot turned aside from Maroney off of the stick of Edwards. This chipped into the neutral zone. Now Keaton Johnson onto the puck. Lost a handle on it as it got knocked off his stick by a Vicks player's stick. Onto the stick of Austin Campbell. Below the Railers' goal line. Surveys his options up ice. Oh, bad turnover here. The Vicks look to work it in, but can't connect on that final pass. I got back to Dylan Jaquette as him and Edwards look to go give and go with each other. Almost what could have been a game-ending turnover there for the Railer Express, but the Vicks unable to capitalize on it. Could that be the turning point here late in this game? This chipped out by the Victorias, giving chase on it. Dario Macchia couldn't catch up to it, however. So we approach the final 2 minutes of play here soon. Jaquette turns, gets hit into the boards, and this ends up drawing a penalty. We'll take a look here. Check out first one on it. He goes in with his numbers already kind of facing to the outside, even though he turned away. Try to evade the check-in, so that's a hit there that, Turner could have let up on. I guess he was already committed to it. There'll be a Vicks power play for the next 2 minutes here. Shorter than that if they're able to get onto the board. Just over 2 minutes remaining in this one, so the Railer Express have to potentially look to tie this game up with a shorthanded marker. This glove down net. Traduk, his shot fired and out of play as it goes off of Maroney. Be interested to see if Derek Gagnon and his coaching staff calls a timeout here for the Railers. If they'll just look to stay the course here and look to battle back to tie this game without a bit of extra rest. As this puck sent in, Chudley trying to get in hard on the forecheck, forces a turnover. Chudley tries to get it into the slot, but could not get it there as it's picked off, intercepted. Clogged up well by a Victoria's stick. As this flipped up, Kirkness looking to get loose. Has some players with him. Goretzky ends up getting this puck off the backboards as Kirkness elected to shoot instead. Stretched up onto the stick of Shattuck. Trips over the blue line. Not literally, but looked that way as number 9, Shattuck, looked like he could have been gone if he was able to get that pass cleanly. Which he did, but if he was able to hold his balance at that. Coming up in the final minute of play here now in this period of action. Net is empty for the Railer Express. Played into the skates of Van den Busch. Almost trouble here for the Railer Express as Goretzky activates up in the zone. Can't get possession of the puck. Kirkness does and puts it back into the back of the net for this Vicks team for their third goal. As afterwards, Trey Sullen got a bit friendly with the Victorias. Has some words for them. But it's the Vicks who skate away to their bench. And what looks like the insurance marker that they needed to send the Railer Express back on their drive to, not the longest drive in the world at all. It's only from St. Vital back to Transcona for most of these guys, or for pretty much all the guys on Transcona. But sending them home tonight with a loss for the Vicks. They'll be going home with what looks like a victory. Kirkness putting it into the back of the net, and that goal brought to you by McKenna Fasteners and Tools on an empty netter. And for Ezekiel Kirkness picking up his first point of the night. See if they've updated it here. They haven't yet on the website, but that goal brought to you by McKenna Fasteners and Tools. It's unassisted. Ends up being a power play goal. It's for the Junior Victorias. Starting off this week with what is one of their biggest wins of the season to this point against the Railer Express. Penalty coming here as, here's some fighting. We were wondering if we'd see some, and there we are. And Brogno takes down Michael Todoruk. There's no punches even thrown here in this tilt. Can't even really call it a tilt. Just frustration boiling over at the end here. Teams that have been tight checking all night long. And Brogno still on top of Todoruk. They're finally separated, and he's animated there. Imbrogno still jawing away loudly there at Michael Todoruk. Getting a huge applause from his teammates too as Imbrogno kid plays with a lot of fire. We see it carry over to almost the end of this one. 13 seconds exactly left. Gotta wonder, do we even play the last 13 seconds here, to be honest with you? Maybe just look to protect the players, honestly. Don't want anything to get too ugly here. In fact, we will play on, I guess. 2-goal game with 13 seconds left. It is still technically possible for Transcona to maybe get back to tying this one, but I don't think so. We'll see how these next 13 seconds play out. St. Laurent to take the draw. Won by the Railer Express. Played to Code. That shot tipped, just high of the net. Almost quickly striking there with 6 seconds left on a power play for the Railers here. It's going to be short-lived. And for them, their 2-game win streak short-lived for now as they fall here to the St. Vital Junior Victorias, who improve their win streak. The 3 here, both teams have to be separated here from each other. We want to get out of here. Make that the final. 3-1 for St. Vital. Picking up win number 18 on the season. Only the 5th time this season that the Railer Express have fallen. And Seawalk continuing getting chirped on his way back to the bench by the Vics. Vics will be first ones off here to exit the ice. And yeah, what a game here, folks. Like it usually is here on mmjhl game day. Now, this wasn't a classic by any means, like last Friday night's matchup between Charleswood and Fort Garry, but every game has a life of its own, and in this game, life it took on was just, yeah, of course, getting chippy at the end of things there, frustrations boiling over. Both teams, I think, were getting antsy to kind of get into that situation as we saw at the end of it, and Brogno going at it with Michael Todoruk. Thought that in the second period, like mentioned, the Victorias found another gear in their game. Well, we saw the same thing from the Railer Express, except not doing it at as high of a level on the scoreboard as the Vics did on that second period. Only getting one goal, that coming to Jeremy Shodenough. And yeah, the Railers, I say honestly, all the pressure from them during this period must have made some Vics fans nervous a bit at times, because there was an all-out press at times from the Railers. Penner had to sprawl out to make some huge saves. Tough for him that he doesn't get a shutout in this matchup, because he was lights out in this one here tonight. But the Vics do enough to survive, still able to create some chances in the third. It's that second period, though, that ends up winning them this game. Forced a bunch of turnovers against this Railer Express squad in their own end. And, yeah, held the line at a high level, got aggressive, played with speed, and made some really nice plays towards the front of the net. Connor Mitchell ends up scoring the game winner in tonight's action with his great one-timer blast in the low slot there. 57 seconds ago in that second period, which honestly, that could have been a backbreaker in the final minute. It always is. But got to give the Railer Express credit. Talked about how they finish strong in games. Well, even though they don't come away with a victory here tonight, they finish strong nonetheless with, in my opinion, the best third period out of the two. But the Vics doing enough to survive the Railer Express attack here tonight. And another character win for the Vics, surviving the late swarm from the Railer Express to come away with this victory. We're going to get into the players of the game now. For the losers side, brought to you by Mick Fasteners and Tools. Gonna give it to Jeremy Shodenough. He was the most noticeable player on the ice tonight, in my opinion, for the Railer Express. Made his presence felt, especially on that forecheck. Was big time in that regard, and yeah, had a lot of good chances in tight on the Victorias here tonight. I got rewarded with one in that third period. And yeah, just kept gaming and kept going as this game went along. Never quit on any play. And for me, Jeremy Shodenough, the player of the game for the Transcon Railer Express, given that context. Brought to you by Mick Fasteners and Tools, of course. As for the St. Vital Junior Victorias, even though his shutout was broke, he made some huge saves in this one to truly give his team the best chance to come away with a victory, and they end up doing so. That goes to number 29 in Ethan Penner. Big save after big save in this game here tonight. Fought through traffic to see the shots. And flawless, aside from, yeah, that one goal that he lets in that I feel like he definitely wouldn't have back. But nonetheless, like, he was seeing shots through screens here tonight. He was battling on rebounds. He was sprawling out to make big saves and stopping the Railer Express at a high level on odd man rushes. He gets the player of the game, brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. Visit their website at cancentralsportscards.com, as well as checking out their only store location here in the city of Winnipeg at 995 Miltsteagle Drive. So Penner gets the player of the game for the Victorias, brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards. Shodenough for the Railer Express with the goal tonight, and a really great effort from himself. Brought to you by Mick Fasteners and Tools. And yeah, as for both of these teams, take a look at the points leaders here. But yeah, back into action coming up on Sunday, as we'll be live at Transcona at East End Arena for Railers taking on the Charleswood Hawks. Should be a good one. Hoping to start pregame show at about 6:50 p.m. But about just after that, maybe, depending on what happens with our setup. Puck drops at 7 p.m. Tomorrow's live stream at Eric Coy between Charleswood and the Raiders is still to be determined due to bad internet connection over there. We'll keep you posted on our social media pages as well as on our website at gshow.ca. But yeah, as for the standings, how they look now, the Vicks up to 18-10-4. The Railer Express fall to 22-5-4 as well, as the Vicks get closer and closer to punching their ticket to a playoff spot. I've been your host, Graham the G Show Forsyth. Thank you for tuning in to this one again, MMJHL fans and hockey fans alike. Thanking our sponsors again in Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Terrico Goaltenders, and Mick Fasteners and Tools for sponsoring another edition of this MMJHL Game Day broadcast. The St. Vital Junior Victorias even up the season series here as well tonight. The fourth matchup between these two squads. Next matchup between the two comes on February 6th. Check out mmjhl.ca for all the details. But powered by a huge performance by their goaltender and getting some good contributions out in front of them, the Victorias surviving the late push by the Railer Express to win this one 3-1. They go home victorious here tonight at home. Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of MMJHL Game Day on your home for MMJHL Hockey here. G Show Productions on gshow.ca. We'll see you Sunday if we don't see you Friday. Take care, everybody.